That's right, everybody. First Steps Podcast is back. We watched another new show. We watched The Changeling, brand new show from Apple TV.
Yes.
Is it horror? Is it fantasy?
Ooh, is it love making?
It is. It's all three of those. My name is Eric.
I'm Keith.
And this is First Steps.
First Steps, baby.
All right, welcome back to another First Steps.
Yes, that's right.
What's up? The whole thing. We got some bad news.
Yeah.
The video portion of the show did not...
What?
It did not record properly.
Oh.
So, if you want to stick around, it's probably one of our best shows ever. Just listen to the audio, have the screen in the background, get some work done.
Well, can we put like a little image for them to watch?
Yeah.
Maybe like a fireplace that crackles or something warm and cozy?
Yeah, we'll do a fireplace, a warm and crackly cozy.
Yeah, and then you'll intersperse in like some terrible faces, terrifying faces.
Yeah, like jump scares.
Yes. Right?
And really like open wounds.
Yes, grotesque with maggots in them and stuff.
Ew.
Yeah, but because it kind of fits with the show, right? Because you know what to expect in the show.
Regardless, let's keep listening, I should say.
Yeah.
Keep watching.
Yeah.
Or go, if you just want to listen, go check out the podcast.
That's right, because it's going to be gold.
Solid gold. All right, stay tuned.
Bye.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of First Eps. We're here. We're talking about The Changeling. It's a brand new show from Apple TV show. I had a little bit of a whistle there.
I like how you said that.
Show.
Yeah. You gotta do them more often.
Yeah, we got our spin drifts. We're ready.
Spindrift.
Spindrift.
That should be your...
We should get sponsored by Spindrift.
That would be... that's happened. I was following...
Brand new apple cinnamon.
It's perfect for spooky season.
Yum, yum.
But of course, my personal favorite is the raspberry lime variety.
Wow.
Yeah. Spindrift. In your
Man.
grocer's refrigerated aisle.
They're the best. What were you saying now?
So I follow somebody named Black Forager on here. She's black and she does foraging out there.
Okay.
And she got
Nailed
a
that
Spindrift
name.
package.
Really?
Yeah, and she's like, somebody must have told them, Spindrift, that I love them. And I was like, wait, she's that big that she gets, like, sponsors? So, I mean, I think she's got maybe about 50 to 60,000 more followers than we do.
That's a few.
But still.
Yeah, we're on our way.
That big, yeah.
Yeah, get us at the bottom for real cheap, Spindrift.
Like that,
Honestly, just send us like an 8-pack every couple weeks. We got you.
I take it once a month even.
Sure.
I'll take once a month.
They're expensive.
They are.
I mean, for this shitty drink, it is really expensive.
Well, we don't want to.
We're gonna cut this part out.
Yeah, for this prime.
We're gonna cut this part out. Okay. This shit tastes disgusting.
But we'll take a free beverage.
Yeah. No, I'm kidding. Spindrift's delicious. All right, let's talk about TV shows.
Right. Yeah. And so we watched The Changeling on Apple TV.
Yeah, we did. We did watch The Changeling on Apple TV.
Yeah.
I was excited to see this one just because it was described as like a adult fantasy horror.
Yeah, I heard it as like what do they call it?
And not like an adult, like, so the commas in those places are different.
Right.
So not like an adult fantasy.
Yeah, which you all would love anyway.
/ horror.
Right.
That would be good too.
Yeah, I've seen some of those before.
But it's just like an adult fantasy / horror.
Yeah, somebody said it's like, instead of a rom-com, it's like a horror-com. But not a horror, like horror-com comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's real confusing.
Yeah.
But we watched it. We're going to tell you what that all means.
Yeah. We'll bring it together for you.
We're gonna
don't turn that dial yet. Do people have dials anymore?
Yeah, if they did, they turned them already. Like 2 minutes into this whole Spindrift spiel.
You told me you were cutting it all, you said. You're cutting it all.
Yeah. All right, so what we do on this show, we watch the first episode of a series. We talk about that first episode. There will be minor spoilers for the first episode, so if you don't want that, just skip forward like 15 minutes.
I mean, this one had a lot of details. Did you take notes on all the details for this one? Okay.
No, I actually start out with the point that says, this was a tough one. And then I just say, we're just going to talk about some of the major plot points.
Okay, because there were a lot of scenes and back and forth eras and people.
It was very, like, if you weren't fully paying attention.
Yeah, which I was, because I always do.
Oh, you always do.
But you are always kind of in and out.
Sure.
Very Kevin Klein.
I mean, I was going to give you the credit, but then you threw me right under that bus and said that I was the one. But yeah, no, just because there was a lot of time shifts, and just different characters, but the same characters. It was. Let's talk about it, shall we? Okay, so it starts out with just like an old ship sailing on the seas in like a terrible, terrible storm.
Oh my God!
They fled Denmark.
Give me the willies
to the U.S. Yeah. This is what they said, and I'm like, did I put on the right? Show?
I thought you put on Curse of the Demeter.
That's right, you did. So I was like, okay, this is going to be amazing. I didn't know what we were getting into, and that was the best part about it. I didn't know what was happening.
Yes. I mean, that's what I love about these kind of shows. You know, when this does not have a cloth that it's cut from, right? It has like it's like a crazy quilt assemblage.
Exactly.
And I don't know what to expect. Yeah. I loved it.
It's like the Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat of TV shows.
Exactly.
So it starts out in 2010. A library in Queens.
Well, that's 2010, supposedly, huh?
Yeah.
It looked pretty, like, really modern for being back then.
It did, yeah. It was...
like futuristic looking.
Yeah. It starts out, a big, major plot point. An unhoused gentleman gots to poo.
Was that the major plot point?
That was it. No, that was just a side point to get our main characters together. So this guy named Apollo, played by LaKeith Stanfield.
Right. Love his name, Keith.
Yes,
Keith.
yes.
Yeah.
It's like the French version of you.
Yeah. A little more sophisticated.
Yeah. This is his first introduction to the other main character, Emmy, played by Clark Backo.
And of course, we love her because she was playing a librarian.
She was a librarian that wasn't taking no sass
from this guy, because he came in and he didn't want to leave his things, and she's like, "Well, you got to leave your things if you want to."
Do you want to go poopy?
Pee the bings. I don't know. I can't make it rhyme, but yeah, you get it. Yeah.
We do call going to the bathroom pee the bings a lot.
Pee the bings. Yeah, that's a thing out here.
Yeah, I gotta go pee the bings. But then we were introduced to the narrator, who is present throughout the entire show,
Mirren.
kind of explaining things.
Wait, it's not Helen Mirren. Was that a different show we watched?
I don't remember. No, it might have been Helen Mirren.
Okay.
Did we watch? No, that was Barbie. That was Barbie with the narrator.
We watched a couple of shows yesterday. Helen Mirren
very
was not
similar. The Changeling, Barbie. But so it goes back to 1968, and it's a parole officer meeting a different person, a receptionist. So this is Brian meeting Lily. So now these are pretty much the only characters we see throughout the entire first episode.
Yeah.
And it's a very similar relationship. So that's what we see. We see the persistence of Apollo trying to go on a date with Emmy, and the persistence of Brian trying to go on a date with Lily, 40 years prior. So it's going back and forth. Finally, they go on a date, and this is where we get kind of like our first introduction to a weird thing. They're talking all of a sudden, and we see like this creepy guy that kind of pops into LaKeith Apollo's head.
Oh, right.
Like he was wearing like a
bald guy
mask or something. And it was really scary.
Yeah.
So then I was like, okay, now it's kind of, this is where we're getting that horror, because up until then it was like a story of a romance, basically, and then, so the story, again, we're just moving through the bullet points. We're not going to hit everything.
We can't.
Emmy goes to Brazil.
Oh, yep.
And then I thought, so this is another interesting point. So we have a time jump within a time jump. It's one of the first character talking about when he was younger, and then we see that him as a kid. So I'm like, there's so many layers already, and it's all time based,
right? And they don't make it explicit.
No,
who is going where? And I kind of like that, because I'm like, so this is just hit Apollo's story much earlier on.
Right.
But you only kind of figure that out. Well, maybe very perceptive people figure out at the very beginning. I didn't figure it out to about halfway through. And I was like, okay.
You do have to pay it, because they'll say like the characters' names or whatever, and they're like, okay, so this might be where
Apollo. I was paying a little less attention.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then it shows them again comparing the two relationships on like a date. So they're on a date. I like that the one they went and saw Rocky. I think Rocky 2.
They're both in New York City, but just one was New York City of the 70s.
Yeah.
The other one was more or less present day, 2000 something. You said 2010, yeah.
Yeah. And this is where I actually put, this story is all over the place. How do I notes? How do I notes? That's going to be the title of the episode. And now we're doing another flashback to Lily, the female from before.
Lily, right.
We have another flashback within a flashback of her brother's death.
Yeah, we see that a lot of the major characters, all of them actually, have traumatic pasts.
Yeah, trauma, and we're seeing it like flashbacks within flashbacks, and we're seeing like why those, like, they do come to light at certain points within the story as well, and then they get fleshed out by these other flashbacks. So it was like pretty heavy shit that they've been dealing with. And then we realize that that face that Apollo saw was his father. Now there's some deeper like father issues with him because his father like left when he was young.
Well, disappeared,
yes.
Yeah, it's kind of left ambivalent whether he actually left or murdered or taken over.
And throughout this episode, like that's the main question, I feel.
Right. Yeah.
It's like, there's more to this story.
Right.
Because he's kind of figuring it out, and in that memory, that there was more to it than just this scary man that he remembered from his childhood.
Yep.
Do you ever have any like weird like dreams or memories like that were very like scary to you as a child?
Well, I definitely have some of those, but not that I don't think we're any kind of
like traumatic experiences like that. Or,
nothing that stemmed from a trauma.
I was thinking when we were watching this that I always had a recurring dream when I was younger, and it was nothing like I don't know where it stemmed from. Maybe all you dreamologists out there can let me know. But it was always like a top-down image of like a square.
Wait, you had a top-down image dream?
Yeah. Oh. Kind of like a game board. It was broken up and made picture like a Monopoly board.
War games.
It's just like a Monopoly board. It was square with squares around it.
Yeah.
And they were all different colors. And I would go around like, I don't know what form I was in, just like a dot or something.
Yeah.
I would go around this board and the lights would flash faster and faster as my mother would speak. And she would speak faster and faster.
So you didn't see her, you only heard her?
Nope, just her voice.
Okay.
And then it was just these lights that would go fast and fast and fast until it was like, and it was so fast and so chaotic that it was like this terrifying nightmare that I always had.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the fuck it means.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah. But I had it, probably 10 years ago again, but for the first time
you
ever.
You have it every once in a while.
Yeah, there were two that I had. The other one was I was in a car with my younger sister and my mom went into a store and I hit a button. I was sitting up front and I hit a button and the car started driving and we drove into this tunnel and there were bats flying everywhere. That was another, both nightmares. Those are my recurring dreams.
Like spiritually. Mm-hmm. There's got to be something for that, yeah.
It was weird. So both of those things came into my mind as we were watching this show. And
that's interesting. Yeah. No, the only one I've ever had that's repeating was more, I think I've mentioned it before, maybe on this podcast, where it's been, I feel I wake up and I know that I'm in some kind of abandoned place, usually. And I don't really know why I'm there. So it could be like a huge old school, a hospital, a factory. So, but each dream I'll have is in a different location like that. And so I'm walking in and I don't see anything threatening, but I just have this overwhelming feeling that something threatening is in.
Yeah.
So if any room I walk into, there's going to be something terrifying in there.
It's going to jump at you or something.
So sometimes I meet friends and people along the way and sometimes I don't. Sometimes I escape and sometimes I don't.
Ooh, this is more of like an adventure.
It's a kind of cool. And I have in times realized that I'm dreaming and that I've got powers in the dream.
Oh, you could control it?
Yeah, because remember once I could fly and once I could levitate things.
Very cool.
But it's very strange. So it happens occasionally.
Yeah.
But I don't like them because they're very...
stressful?
Yes.
Yeah.
They're not pleasant dreams. They're uncomfortable.
Sure. So some more points. We see the birth of Apollo early on. We notice that his name is based on not the god, but the boxer from Rocky. Which I thought was interesting. Again, we're jumping back and forth, which I thought, like you said, was amazingly well done the way they did that. Because it was like they would blend it into one another. Because there was a point where they're talking about the past when Apollo was a kid, how he grew up loving books, obsessed with books. And then it transitions into the main story like slowly transitions in the main story with him like getting these books.
Yep.
And
which
I don't know what he does with these books.
I think he just reads them all.
Yeah, he found like one book at like I don't know where he got it, but it had a postcard signed by like Aleister Crowley.
Right.
And he's like, this is gonna sell for $10,000.
Forgot about that. That was Crowley. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, that guy was creepy. Speaking of creepy things.
Yeah. Anyway, so now Emmy comes back from Brazil. She couldn't cut it. She comes back.
She couldn't cut it? I thought she was just done.
Nah, she was like, well, she was going to move there, I think, right?
Oh, I thought she wasn't sure when she was coming back home.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a whole thing.
Yeah, okay.
But she ends up coming back, but something major happens to her while she's there. She goes to a place where she's not supposed to go. She's warned not to go there. She goes anyways. And there's like this witch woman.
What do they call them? Bruja? Bruja? I don't know. But
yeah. And she puts a thread around her wrist and says, these are 3 wishes. Or make 3 wishes. And when this falls off, they'll come true or something like that. It has to fall off. Otherwise, like, I don't know what, something bad happens.
Yeah.
So we don't know her wishes. We don't know if it's true or whatever, but it's like, this whole scene was really creepy.
Yeah.
She comes back to America. She starts dating Apollo again. And immediately she tells him the story. And he's like, well, fuck that bracelet. He cuts it right off of her. But he turns it into like a line. Like, he's like, the only wishes you're going to need are me, baby.
Yeah. The god Apollo's here.
Yeah. And I was like, ballsy.
Yeah, I didn't like that part.
Yeah. No.
I don't particularly like the fact that he just did what he wanted to with her personhood. But But
she dug it.
She seemed like she was okay with it.
Yeah, she was like, oh, baby, oh, daddy.
So she did. Oh, daddy. Like that Fleetwood Mac song.
Exactly. But next up, it basically just, your usual marriage, sex, and a baby.
And there they go. Yep.
And
here we are.
Here we are. Yeah. So they're out to dinner with a friend. And this is like... I'm so annoyed. I was so into this. This friend's trying to tell her... So...
I want to watch that scene again because that scene had a lot. It was
so much energy and there was a lot going on. Yeah, and it was so disjointed.
Yeah, I'm missing things in this, and I definitely put my phone down for that.
So it was Emmy's friend. Emmy gets up, goes to the bathroom, and her friend is there, and she's like something. She's trying to tell Apollo something very important.
But she wasn't actually saying it.
But she wasn't saying it.
Yeah, like
something about like.
What did she say?
Emmy has a nude picture of her in Brazil. And she's like staring into the camera. Like, no, you don't understand. She's like staring at the camera. And she was like, I know about her wishes. And she got at least 2 of them in Brazil. And what the third one's going to be.
2 of them now with you wanting to have a baby and to fall in love with someone. But there's a third one which I'm trying to tell you, but I can't tell you what it is, but you have to listen.
Yes.
Something like that, right? And then all of a sudden...
And then he gets notified that something's happened. I mean, she's having her baby or whatever. Yeah. So they have to run out.
And of course, what happens? New York traffic. They can't get the taxi to move.
Exactly. So classic baby on the subway. Right. New York situation. All had one. Exactly. And then it just ends. So that's the baby on the subway, and then just it ends with this fucked up imagery. And I'm just like,
tell us the imagery again.
I don't even remember what it was because that's all I wrote down. Fucked up imagery.
Was it the blue-faced guy again came back?
But there was more. It was more that was telling the story of what's going to happen.
Oh, right. It looked like people being tortured
and
things happening. Yes. Like cutscenes.
Yeah,
of warning us
what's to come. But it was all really bad.
Because that's where he's like, we're going to be okay, honey. We're going to be okay. We got through this. And then it showed us that.
And the scenes were all negative or scary.
Yeah. Right.
So, it was definitely it got me hooked. Right away. It was about maybe 47 minutes or something like that, this first episode.
This one felt long to me, but not in a bad way.
It had a lot happening.
Yeah.
It was weird because a lot happened, but a little happened. It was it was a very weird show. It was unlike anything I've seen that I can recall in recent memory, if ever. And it was, but we'll talk about our reviews soon. There are 3 episodes out right now. And then they're going to be coming out weekly. So
3 dropped at once and then...
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Are they all about the same length?
Yes, it looks like it.
Yeah, cool.
So let's just talk about Let's talk about fairy tales.
Okay.
So this is like a horror fairy tale.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you have a favorite
Horror fairy tale?
No, just a regular fairy tale. Like a,
I mean, I don't, like, we're talking, like...
I don't know, like a Beauty and the Beast.
Kind of well, I like Beauty and the Beast, sure.
Hansel and Gretel.
Well, I was just thinking, they had that, does Princess Mononoke count as, like, a fairy tale?
Now, is that based off of anything? Is that its own thing?
I don't know.
I've never seen that one.
You really haven't?
No.
Oh, it's so weirdly interesting.
I know. It's like everybody's like favorite of the Miyazaki films.
Well, it's my introduction to his work too, so I think that means something helps you. But yeah, again, it has this interesting kind of fable or about humanity versus nature, and I don't want to tell too much about it, but it's really interesting.
I keep you around.
I do love Beauty and the Beast is a more traditional one, but of course that's because she reads a lot. Belle, she sings, and of course Gaston.
Yeah, so you see a lot of yourself in Gaston.
No, I think it was just one more. I'd like seeing him on the screen as a young lad, and before I realized,
What about the one?
Yeah.
Ron Perlman, Beauty and the Beast show.
I did not like that one. No, I did not like that.
Was
one.
it the Fabio hair? Did that throw you off?
I felt nothing for that Beast. Yeah.
What about the Gaston?
I was much younger for that one. Was there a Gaston?
I don't know. I've never seen it. Was it like a Canadian show?
Maybe. But you know what I did like? For some reason, that reminds me of the Meatloaf song. We hold me down with holy water when I get too hot. And she came out, she sang. She had a similar vibe to the Beauty and the Beast, the woman when she sings.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of disjointed connections, a lot like the Changeling.
And wasn't that... I mean, I feel like wasn't the video for that?
Was it kind of like a Beauty and the Beast kind of vibe?
Beast thing? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, maybe that's it.
I think it was because he lived in like a castle.
See?
And was like,
yes. It all comes together. Anyway, so tell me more about these. What fantasies do you have?
I think my favorite fairy tale has always been Hansel and Gretel.
Oh,
I think that's such a nice dark great story.
Put candy in it.
Exactly. Yeah, I think I just get stuck on the candy, the house made of candy.
Yeah,
it sounds so delicious.
But I think the ones I know mostly the kids get out and they kind of get vengeance on the
exactly.
They
kick the witch into the stove.
That's
not the classic.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert for a 300-year-old fairy tale. The kids, I think, just get cooked
I think
in
the
oven.
classic ones they get eaten.
And because those the Brothers Grimm's were always there's a moral of the story.
Right, listen to adults. Don't go.
Don't go into strangers' houses or you'll get eaten.
Exactly.
We could probably write a fairy tale.
We'll probably get canceled though. You gotta be careful these days.
Well, what's a good moral to teach?
Let's see. Don't eat your poop.
Okay.
Right? That's a good one.
Here, let's put this together. Don't eat your poop. All right. So, now we need some characters. So, what are our main characters? There's got to be these are for kids.
Little Peter Poo Poo Eater.
Oh,
right.
So is this going to be a rhyming one?
Oh, I don't know. They don't have to rhyme, do they? I just no. Yeah. Okay.
All right. So Peter Poopy Eater, is he like the bad guy in this?
Well, he's the kid who learns a tough lesson.
So the danger? How is the danger presented?
Schistosomiasis.
Oh, so he gets some kind of Peter gets schistosomiasis. Well,
I don't know. I mean, you don't. That's more like from dirt. I think you get that. I don't know if you get it from eating poop.
I mean, it says shit in the first.
Schisto. Oh, not shit. Not shitsto.
Jeremy Schisto.
Yeah. I mean, they can come out in fecal matter, but you probably won't be eating it. But again, if he eats it, then he might get it. If an infected host and eats that poop.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then there's like little Emily.
Oh, she warns them.
Yeah.
She's going to medical school.
And he's like, no, it's cool to eat your poop.
Right. And Emily's like, I think I just read in my latest chapter not to eat poop.
Yeah, I got a newsletter about this. Schistosomiasis. And he's like, nom, 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 nom.
This is so disgusting.
And then he dies.
No, he won't die. He won't die. We can take some kind of anti-parasitic and he'll be okay.
Oh, okay.
But he might
not die.
No, he does not.
Peter does not die.
No, this is set in modern day times.
Yeah.
Then we're okay. I mean, even if it was in the past, he'd be okay. He might just lose some weight, like an early Ozempic kind of thing.
All right, but does he have trauma then after this?
I mean, wouldn't you?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So that's another part of the story.
Yeah.
Continuous trauma after he needs to see a therapist.
Yeah. This is good.
Yeah. Let's put this together.
This could go on like an HBO kind of a anime.
Yeah. Oh, we're going to animate it too? I thought it was just a story we're
What's
gonna
getting
put.
picked up? Obviously, we're not just gonna end with a story.
Right, we gotta find an animationist.
Right. Well,
what are those people called?
Yeah, we'll just do it. But we'll do a ChatGPT first.
Oh, perfect.
Right? Can they create little AI sketches yet, or do they don't do that
I don't
yet?
know. We'll mess with it.
Yeah.
Take ChatGPT
And then we can
make a
workshop
fairy
it.
tale about Peter Poopy Eater getting schistosomyosis.
Schistosomyosis.
Yeah, we're gonna push the limits of ChatGPT here with this.
And then we can use that to really to show the vision, because you and I don't have a lot of artistic skills, right? We can write the script, obviously, because we've got that. We're good with that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the movie Freeway with Reese Witherspoon? It's probably from late 90s, early 2000s. It's like a telling of Little Red Riding Hood.
No.
Oh, man. It's one of those. I thought maybe it used to be on HBO all the time.
Yeah.
And I know we always watched those movies that were on HBO regularly.
Yeah.
But it was always on late at night because it was very R-rated.
Okay.
She plays she's like a real bad girl, but she's going to her grandmother's house and I forget who it is. It's like the bad guy, and she messes him up.
Yes.
Like very violently. It's a great film.
Reese, very nice. And this is before Reese's book club.
Well, yeah, and before where she's the lawyer.
Legally Blonde.
Yeah.
Now was she with Ryan? No, what's his name?
Probably not.
Okay.
Yeah,
I can't remember his name now.
She was a young lass in this, but I did find so there's every fairy tale turns into there's different versions. So
Sure.
Cinderella has that Ever After.
Oh,
Remember that one?
right. Yep, that was big.
And then
Drew Barrymore, was she in that? Was that it?
she was in one of them.
Okay.
I don't know if it was that one, but yeah, there was a bunch. I looked up Cinderella, and there was 30 movies that were either Cinderella, different versions of it, or based on Cinderella. Hansel and Gretel had Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters, which was an action movie.
I remember that one.
And then it also has a movie called Gretel and Hansel, which is a scary horror movie, which is great.
Okay.
I recommend it.
That one, yeah.
Black Swan, based on Swan Lake.
Oh.
So,
okay.
you got that.
Yeah.
There's a bunch from the Snow White universe, Snow White and the Huntsman.
Oh, right.
Maleficent.
Yes. A bunch of those came out in the 2010s, right? I'm seeing what's her name? Charlize Theron was a bunch of Theron, whatever her name is.
She was in some, sure. Hook, based on Peter Pan.
We just talked about that one.
Exactly.
Yeah,
classic. Splash, based on The Little Mermaid.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Same with, there's a movie Undine, which was also based on The Little Mermaid.
Okay. Lars von Trier, right?
No, not that dark. And then The Matrix.
Was
that's based on Alice in Wonderland, I guess, because remember he follows the White Rabbits and stuff like that. Yeah, which I feel like was maybe just based on more on that song, which I guess was based on Alice in Wonderland, Lewis Carroll's.
Yeah.
So it's fun looking at those. There's so many different ones that are out there that are just based on.
Did not know that.
Yeah.
About that. Mind blown.
Yeah. All right. What else? What else is about fairy tales? Let's just keep going.
Yeah.
Let's just keep it going.
Fairy
Oh, you know what?
Yeah,
Let's do. We haven't done it in a while. A little game. What am I thinking? Fairy tale version.
Now play at home with everybody too, please. See if you get it before us.
All right. So we're gonna each say something that we're thinking, and then we're gonna try to match up our words by saying more words. Did I say that right? That's good.
Right.
But this is a fairy tale theme.
So fairy tale themed.
All right. Okay. Ready?
Okay. Am I ready? Okay.
Tell me when you're ready. You have 1 second.
I don't know if it's a fairy tale or not. I'm just thinking. Okay.
Ready?
It's fine.
3, 2, 1. Hansel.
Crown.
Hansel and Crown.
Okay.
All right. All right. Ready. 3, 2, 1. Head.
I was gonna say Shrek.
Shrek.
Is that a fairy tale though?
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, it doesn't have to be anymore. Just we have to start. First word just to start with fairy tale. Now we just say whatever to get to it together. Head and Shrek. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Green.
Ogre.
Oh, green ogre.
Oh gosh. Okay, now we're in a tricky territory.
Yeah, it's tricky. All right, I'm ready.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Fiona. Fiona and Monster?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I think we got this.
We can't say the same word that we said already.
But can't we just say a gendered version of that word?
Oh, sure. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1. Ogress.
Yes. See?
It's that easy, kids. It's that easy. All right. Let's get back to the Changeling.
Yeah.
So the Changeling, it's based on a book by Victor Lavalle, which I would like to check out. Probably, I think I'm going to go in blind on the series, though.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll look at the book after the first series is done.
Yeah. Do you know, is this based on, like, is it going to be multiple seasons or one and done? You don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk about the Changeling. What is your first steps review on a scale of 1 to 10? 10 being the best.
I'm going to give it a 7. I really enjoyed it.
This is a high score.
It's a high score for me. Well, I love like that kind of, I guess it's kind of sci-fi-ish. It's
Sure. Yeah, it's definitely got fi and something.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the characters in it. I like the fact that it's majority African American. It was a nice different approach in so many ways. It was very refreshing, and I love it when I don't see a path forward, right? I actually have to have the show give me the path forward because I can't deduce what's going to happen.
Right.
And so I like that in shows. So I enjoyed it for that.
Yeah, I give it 7.5.
Okay. You always have to go higher than me, always.
Well, I had my score picked out earlier.
A 7.5 was a 7.
It was a 7.5 that I already had
justify, please.
locked in.
Yeah.
So I even thought, I was thinking about it, I was like, is this another 8? And I was like, no. And then I was like, I think it's a 7.
Okay.
And then I was like, no. 7.5. That's the whole story.
Yep.
Hand to God. But yeah, for me, the acting was amazing. I thought everybody was great in it.
Yep.
And like you said, like it was all over the place as far as the time.
But in an intriguing way, and it worked. Yeah.
It worked.
Yeah.
It worked amazingly.
Yeah.
Like it was so well done that that was my favorite part of it. Is how you jumped through time telling these stories, but the transitions between them never felt shoehorned in. They always it always just kind of existed really well with the same characters, and it started off pretty confusing. But by the end, I feel like we were, everybody knew what was going on.
Yep.
I mean, for the most part.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But
so yeah, it definitely got with the wishes and then the spooky images at the end. I'm absolutely super excited to go check out episode 2.
Yeah.
And see exactly what the hell this is. It's definitely got a lot to live up to for episode 2.
Yeah.
It needs to continue this because I could absolutely see this falling off if it doesn't perform as well.
Yeah.
If it doesn't give us any answers or if it doesn't move the story along, it could be, if it gets too confusing before it really moves the story forward, which so many shows have done.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, I do want to see, what did you think about? So one of the major things I see as we were watching this is that it seems like Apollo has the ability, or is always kind of fighting against fate, kind of daring at it, finding out what the next steps are, taking his own leaps as he sees fit. I find it really interesting because the world around him is kind of warning and hints and tragedies, but he kind of puts them aside to do what he wants to do.
He's the god of something.
Yeah, so I'm I do want to see what is that going to get him? So I'm intrigued by that because he's a very intriguing character specifically. Yeah,
and this image of his father, it ended with that too, where then we start to hear him, the dad, say something he's trying to rescue Apollo from something.
Because at first you think the father, like you said, abandoned him or whatever, and then one of the scenes with spoilers, which we talked about, you see the blue mask comes off and it's his father grabbing him, and of course still the son is Apollo's terrified. But in the very last one, it looks like there was some smoke, and like you said, he was taking him away from it or something. So I don't know. Yeah, I'm intrigued.
Yeah, and then I wonder, because there's so much time shifting, and I have no idea, this is just a wild guess, if there's going to be any time travel elements in this, because, all of a sudden the father's there to rescue him from something. It seems a little, I don't know, a little lucky.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I mean, I guess I'm kind of hoping it's going to be one of those, I really did enjoy, the other ones that we've watched that have this kind of dark, unknown quality, I really did like the Archive 81.
Yes.
I know that one didn't get renewed, but up until like the very last episode, I was really into it.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I loved Eyes Wide Shut, which also had a very similar where you were, again...
Not
just
Eyes Wide Shut.
Eyes Wide Open? What was that
Something.
one? Remember that one?
Yeah.
Again, I didn't know what was going to happen.
Behind these eyes.
Behind her eyes.
Behind her eyes.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
And then it switched like halfway through into like a totally different... And you're like, oh, crap. So, like, I feel like this has a potential to be something like one of those ones where you're not sure what's going to happen and it's going to be intriguing throughout. Or it could just get, like, totally washed down, like, kind of like that, what was that one, 1884, where we, like, kind of lost interest because that's so weird and we didn't...
Yes, perfect example.
Right?
Yes,
like, and I can
perfect
see
example. Yeah, and that one suffered from also not getting...
The ship one. They were on that mystery ship. Yeah.
Getting picked up for season 2 because it took away any desire I had of continuing.
Right, because we were already so lost in it. I'm like, now they can't have any resolution.
Exactly, yeah, stupid Netflix. All right, that's it.
Yeah.
We've talked about every possible fairy tale ever.
We're going to wish upon a star that this one's going to hit this one out of the ballpark.
All right, thank you so much for watching or listening to this episode.
Now, where can they listen to us or watch us?
You could listen to us or watch us. You can listen to us anywhere podcasts are found. Anywhere. I literally mean anywhere you can find a podcast. If you found a podcast underneath your bed,
exactly,
it's us talking
at the local 7-Eleven.
Yeah, go to the library, rent us.
The library, totally.
Or you could check us out on YouTube at Pop Culture Playground.
That's probably a better place to check us out first instead of going. Although you could ask your local librarian. I'm sure they could help you to find us online.
go on the library.
Yeah.
We'll make sure that like it's not too explicit for the library. Maybe bring your headphones.
Right. Well, I mean, the library's usually open to like freedom of. Well, it depends what state you're in.
Exactly. Now, if you got to poop, you got to leave your bags at the front. So look at that. Full circle. We came full circle.
That's right. Watch the show if you don't know what he's talking about.
Yes. Also, you can check us out on Instagram or TikTok. I think Facebook. I think we're on Facebook, too.
Are we? Oh, wow.
Yeah, ask your moms. And we will see you. Well, I don't know. We may not be next week. Keith's going traveling.
Yeah. I think,
again.
If we can do it on Sunday, maybe we can do it.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Maybe. An extra little treat for you.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.